Young Adult Podcast.
Welcome to podcast 173.
173.
Oh, baby, we got some things to show off. We got our new CYA shirt here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab this so I can kind of get it right there in the camera.
Thank you.
There it is.
You want to flip it?
Yeah,
that's the front. That's the back.
Sorry.
Look at that. Look at that new shirt. We're giving these away to everybody who comes to our next Cornerstone Young Adult service on October 24th.
That's right.
Which will be fantastic.
It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be a great night.
I'm looking forward to that night a lot.
And we're starting a brand new format today on the podcast.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So some things will be familiar, and then we'll do some other things. So we're gonna do we're gonna choose who will win.
Yep.
Then we'll do a brand new segment called Culture Clash.
Culture Clash.
And then we'll end with some Bible talk.
That's right.
All right, let's do it. Who will win?
Who will win?
It's time for the picks.
What a disappointing Sunday night. I wasn't not emotionally even ready for the game.
You know,
I was tired going into the game. I just was like, tired. I'm not ready for all this chaos.
So all week I was wrestling with who I thought would win. And I picked the Lions to win on the podcast.
Me too.
But then on Sunday, you can ask my wife to confirm this if you don't believe me. On Sunday, we were driving home to watch the game. And she said, who do you think's going to win? And I said, I picked the Lions on the podcast. So I'm publicly, that was my pick. I said, but on game day right now, I feel like they're going to lose.
Yeah. You know what happened, which was a big disadvantage to us?
What was that?
There was a few injuries during the week at practice.
Yep.
Which was bad. Then you had players who were questionable to play that I don't think we anticipated.
Yep.
To be questionable to play. And they looked like they were injured while they were playing.
Yeah.
And that affected things tremendously. It was one of the reasons we lost. So anyway, but we didn't choose correctly. But once again, Fred somehow has figured this out, figured the team out.
Yeah. You know what's funny,
and I haven't been able to figure out the team yet.
He just texted me. He said, Lions. He didn't really give me any commentary last week. I talked about that. But then we were talking in person. He said, it's like, I think it's going to come down to a crazy penalty call or penalty no call at the end of the game. And so then the first drive, there's that ridiculous penalty. Like, flag came in so late, they called back that Lions touchdown.
Yeah.
And I texted him. I said, a crazy penalty at the beginning of the game?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, maybe. We'll see.
Man, so your dad's 6-0 now.
6-0.
I'm 3-3. You're 3-3. I do have my pick for this week.
I do too.
It feels like I'm a little bit more confident with this pick, mainly because we're starting off at least knowing some of the injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch of players went on the IR.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Weren't on the IR when we picked last week at this time. Anyway, I got my pick this week. I'm going with the Lions loss.
Okay.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But the Bucs are playing really good football. The Lions have a lot of injuries again. And I don't think we can overcome the injuries and the suspension of Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Right now he's suspended as we're doing this podcast. Now he's appealed the suspension, and who knows? He might not be suspended for the game. But right now with the information knowing that Brian Branch is gone, Kirby Joseph is limping.
Yeah.
Somebody did a prayer circle. He came back into the game. Thank you very much. Then we got both our starting cornerbacks out.
Yeah.
Our backup cornerback is out. Our backup safety is out as well. Our left tackle played one game and went on IR. Weak. So I don't know what the heck's going on right now, but so I'm not confident.
Yeah.
I have no confidence in the Lions right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Lions loss.
All right. Well, this will be, I think, the first week where me and you pick differently then.
Okay.
Because I'm going with a win.
Nice.
And here's why. I am really, I'm betting, if I was a betting man, I'm betting this pick, not so much on the players, but I'm betting this pick on Dan Campbell.
I did that last week. I said Dan Campbell's just different in prime time.
And Dan Campbell, since midway through the 2022 season, has not went back-to-back losses.
It's true.
They are back at Ford Field.
That's true.
They're not playing on the road. And it is prime time. It's Monday night. So my pick really doesn't go to the players. It's going with Dan Campbell.
Angry coach.
And I'm going, he's going to whip them into shape, and they're going to come out with a scrappy win this week.
You're going with angry coaches.
That's what I'm going with.
All right, I respect it. Let's look at the line. I don't know what the line is.
I have no idea what the line is. Let's figure this out.
I will figure it out right now.
Lions.
Sorry.
Oops, this is the wrong game.
I got to go all the way down to, there we go. Okay. Whoa! Detroit is favored by 5.5.
Whoa.
That surprises me.
That surprises me too.
I don't know anything about the Buccaneers. I mean, when I say I don't know anything about the Buccaneers, I don't know what their defensive rank is. I don't know what their offensive rank is, but they're 5-1.
They're 5-1.
So,
and Baker Mayfield is playing on fire.
They're without Chris Godwin and they're without Bucky Irving, which are pretty important people. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I still don't have much. With our banged up defense, I don't know what to do right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, lines in.
All right.
What's Fred doing?
He went with a W.
Wow.
And he didn't really. I'm trying to find his text about why. He sent it to me today. He said next week is going to be tough. I'm going to be bold and say another line, or I was going to be bold and say another Lions loss, but I think that they will be menaces after losing, and they'll come out with a win. So, Lions win.
Okay.
That's his exact words.
All right, he's kicking our behinds right now. We got to catch him somehow. I'm glad me and Fred are picking different because at least I can catch him.
That's what I was hoping last week. I was hoping that we picked different. I was like, maybe I'll gain one on him. I did not.
I'm trying to gain one on him. I didn't know what he was picking, but I'm realizing now I think I can try to gain one on him.
Yeah.
I don't want the Lions to lose, but anyway.
Right.
All right, we're starting a brand new segment. We're going to talk about something that's happening in culture that's clashing with our biblical worldview.
That's right.
We're calling this new segment Culture Clash.
Culture Clash.
Man, that clashes with my biblical worldview.
Okay, everybody. How many times have we seen something in the news or on social media where you just think to yourself, wow, I can't believe that was just said. Or I can't believe people are doing that.
All the time.
And I want to talk about the Super Bowl halftime performance.
Super Bowl halftime show.
Now, this is an interesting one. There's a lot here. I don't know if I agree with everything that's being said about this Super Bowl halftime show, but a lot is being said.
Yeah.
Let me just point out the things that I know is for 100% fact about the Super Bowl halftime show. There's a performer named Bad Bunny playing. Mm-hmm. Why is he called Bad Bunny? I did some research.
You did? Okay.
I did some research. Apparently, it's his nickname because of a photograph taken of him when he was a little boy. He was in a bunny costume.
Okay.
And I guess he's like, oh, you look like a bad little bunny. So Bad Bunny became his nickname, his artist name.
Yeah.
He is, this is important these days, and which is big culture clash for us Christians. Apparently, his sexuality is fluid.
Okay.
That's important. It's in his bio.
That's crazy.
He's more than just a singer. He's also an actor.
Yeah.
And he's been known to play homosexuals.
Okay.
In different movies and things like that, kissing boys. And he likes both boys and girls.
Okay.
And he says he doesn't know really where he leans. He's fluid. So there's weird stuff like that. Also, in his performances, when he goes around his tour, he does drag queen things.
Okay.
He dresses up in drag.
Yeah.
Now, the Super Bowl halftime performances never line up with Christian worldview or biblical worldview. And they never have.
Yeah.
And I'm not really assuming they ever will. I think the closest maybe we'll ever get one day is if Creed maybe played.
That'd be the closest we'd ever get.
Yeah. But that's hard pressed to say they're Christian. So anyway, it never has lined up with their Christian worldviews. But this one in particular seems to be clashing a whole lot more than others.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now, there's other things about this whole performance that I don't really care. I don't really care that he's Puerto Rican and that he speaks mostly Spanish or that he's going to sing a lot of his songs in Spanish. That's not offensive to me in any way, shape, or form. No. Although it might be boring just not even knowing what he's saying because I don't speak Spanish very well. But that's not a reason for me to get all worked up. But I am a little worked up over this one.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to hear that Turning Point USA is actually planning and going to do an alternative halftime show.
Yep.
I'm guessing they're going to stream it on their YouTube channel. Right. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's my guess too.
If they are, I think as a church, we're actually I talked to my dad about this.
Okay.
Once more details come out about this, we'll actually make an announcement at church and let the people know about the alternative halftime show where to find it.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to be subjected to some sort of, let me just say this. I mean, the performance could get extremely offensive to Christians.
Yeah.
And I would say this. Maybe they're doing it on purpose.
They might be.
Maybe they're doing it to offend people on purpose.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But they might be.
They might be. Or they're just lost.
Could be that too.
And they don't think it's offensive at all.
Right.
And they're offended at us that we're so prude and our noses are up in the air.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. But that is a big culture clash. What's your opinion on this whole thing?
Yeah. I would agree. Like you said, the part that that he's sings in Spanish, most of his songs are all in Spanish. That's not offensive to me at all. I thought, wow, this is gonna be the most boring halftime show ever.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you sing in Spanish the whole time, it's not very engaging for us.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I usually care very little about the halftime show.
Was there any halftime show in particular that you were a little bit excited about ever over the years?
I'm trying to think. Not really. There was probably some that happened when I was younger that if they happened now, I would be excited about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
But when I was a kid, I didn't really care. Even as a young kid, I was way more excited about watching the football game.
Yeah.
Halftime was when we all got up and got snacks and, talked about what had happened in the first half. It wasn't never in my Super Bowl watching culture was the halftime show a big deal. With any of growing up in my family, we went to a lot of different Super Bowl parties and stuff like that. That was never a focus. But obviously the stuff about them putting up on stage on the platform in front of everybody, this guy who is sexually or sort of sexuality is fluid, has the drag stuff in his show. I think that's really a big culture clash for me.
Yeah.
Really, obviously, extremely goes against what our biblical worldview is, what the Bible teaches, and it's just, I'll be honest, it just really makes me almost just sick. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just gross, disgusting feeling about stuff like that for me.
Yeah, it makes me uneasy as well.
And so and then I had heard about the alternative halftime show. Do they know who's doing it yet?
There are a lot of names floating around.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything has been solidified yet.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But all the names floating around are great.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy with whatever's, if they choose a few of those or one of those.
Yeah.
I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
So.
Those are kind of my thoughts on it. I think that because I think here's one of the things people are going to say, Pastor, why are you guys talking so much about this one versus other halftime shows? There was a lot of stuff, but with that, and I think for me, it's the openly drag, pro, homosexual, fluid sexuality aspect that in his performances is very much at the forefront of it.
It's in his
shows.
Yes, it's in his shows. So is he going to be doing that stuff on the stage?
I don't know, but that part is the part that really, I would say, makes me very uncomfortable and
extremely uncomfortable. I don't want my children to see it.
Right, that's a big thing too. Is maybe it's because I'm a dad now, but I'm I don't want, even my daughter's 1 year old, but I don't want her watching any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. And so, yep, there's our culture clash for this week. We'll have a new one next week.
We will.
All right, let's get on to Bible talk.
Bible talk.
I love me some Bible talk.
Matthew 27.
Matthew 27.
I have named this chapter of the Bible the responsibility chapter.
Yeah.
I was reading my Bible last week,
Okay.
and I come across just working my way through Matthew like normal.
Yeah.
Going through it. And I start reading Matthew 27. And I just noticed something in this chapter, this entire chapter.
Yeah.
It has a theme.
It does have a theme.
The theme is responsibility.
Yeah. And if you're like, what in the world happens in Matthew 27?
Yeah, I know.
It is the chapter where we see Jesus, I believe, was arrested in 26.
Yep.
So Jesus at this point has been arrested. It kind of opens with a kind of thread line of Judas and kind of what's going through his thought right then. Then it goes directly into the trial with Pilate and Jesus and ends with his crucifixion.
Yes.
Kind of goes through that whole process. So that's what's happening in Matthew 27.
It's an extremely intense chapter, and I would say that I've never noticed this before, mainly
Yeah.
because I've just been looking at it from like this thought of, oh man, Jesus, this stinks for him right now.
Right.
But for some reason, this time when I read it, all this theme popped out at me this word responsibility is in there numerous times.
Yeah.
And that theme is in there numerous times.
Right.
It pops up right away at the beginning where Judas comes back to the religious leaders, the leading priests, and has those 30 pieces of silver in the bag. And he says, I didn't know that you were going to want to condemn this man to death.
Yeah.
I don't want this money anymore. I don't want this responsibility on my hands anymore.
Yeah.
And he gives it back to them.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't want responsibility for this.
I don't want to take responsibility for this. Throws it at their feet, storms out.
Yeah. And while Judas leaves, the leading priests now have a conversation amongst themselves,
Yeah.
and they say the exact same thing. Listen, I don't want the responsibility of this money. It's
Yeah.
blood money.
Right.
So let's buy a field with it and turn it into a cemetery, a graveyard.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the responsibility of this blood money.
Yeah, we don't want the responsibility of this blood money at all.
Once again, hitting that theme of responsibility.
Yeah. It made me think of, this is like really random, but you ever heard the term like the blame game?
Yes.
Like you walk in, this happened to me multiple times as a kid, you'd walk in, your mom would be like, who did this? And you and your siblings are both like,
Yep.
just pointing at the other one, right? Like,
Yep.
It kind
Like
of
the Adam and Eve situation.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Like Judas is like, well, I didn't know you guys were gonna condemn him to death. Like, I don't want responsibility for this.
Yeah.
And then the priests were like, well, I don't want responsibility for this blood money. Like, let's just buy a field. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're always trying to shift the blame. Like, just get the responsibility off them. It was somebody else's fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then we see Jesus on trial with Pilate.
Yep.
And Pilate asks Jesus an interesting question. He says, are you who they say you are? Are you the king of the Jews?
Directly asks him, are you the king of the Jews?
Now, Jesus has an opportunity here to take some responsibility.
Yeah.
And his answer is very interesting.
Oh, yeah. I have it. I look.
Read it.
This
Go
is
ahead.
in the New King James.
Yeah.
And he says, it is as you say.
So what is Jesus doing now that nobody has had the guts to do yet?
He's taking the responsibility.
Yes.
Because, I was just thinking about this in this part. He could, from a human perspective, he could have been like, no, I'm not the king of the Jews.
Well, I agree.
And
He could have explained to him, I'm not here to overthrow the Roman government.
right, he could have went down this thing of like, I'm not here to overthrow Rome. We're just kind of doing some new like, I'm just a good teacher. Like, he could have went down this road and not taken all this responsibility. And who knows, maybe it wouldn't have ended in his crucifixion, which from a human perspective would have been a good thing, right?
Listen to this weird. Listen to this.
All right.
I saw this last week when I was studying for a completely different message.
Okay.
The Jews hate Rome.
Yeah.
They're under Roman control.
Yeah.
They want to fight Rome, defeat Rome,
Yeah.
and not be under Roman control anymore.
Right.
Jesus comes.
Yeah.
He claims himself to be king.
Yeah.
But Jesus never says anything negative about Rome.
Yeah.
Who does Jesus say negative things about? The religious leaders.
Religious leaders.
So now think about our day and age.
Yeah.
Have we wasted too much breath complaining about our own government when we maybe should just be simply focused on our own religious institution, the church, just like Jesus was?
Yeah.
So Rome had no issues with Jesus because Jesus never said anything negative about Rome.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when they tried to get him to say something negative about the Roman Empire or Rome in general, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He paid his taxes.
He even told him to pay your taxes, and he sent Peter down to catch the fish with the coin in its mouth.
Jesus spent his 3 years of ministry putting a lot of responsibility on the religious leaders and none of it on Rome.
Yeah.
And it was the exact opposite with the Jewish people. They wanted to throw the responsibility on the Roman government and say, we're just victims.
Right.
It's the responsibility chapter. Anyway, so then he's the first one all of a sudden on the scene where he's taking responsibility for the situation at hand. It is as you say.
Yeah.
I am. So we get this whole situation. Pilate cannot find anything wrong with Jesus.
Yeah.
So he goes to the people and says, hey, listen, I'll give you Barabbas.
Yeah.
No. I'll give you, he goes, I'll give you Jesus. I don't know why I got confused for just a second. I'll give you Jesus back. No, we want Barabbas.
We want Barabbas.
What do you mean? Pilate's like, what do you mean you want Barabbas? This guy's crazy. He's a murderer and da-da-da-da. He's an insurrectionist. And what does Pilate say? I wash my hands of this situation.
Yeah. Check this out. This is in 27:24. He said, when Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that riot was rising, he took water, washed his hands before them, saying, I'm innocent of this blood, just as... Sorry, I can't read this out. I'm innocent of the blood of this just person, so you see it. So he's telling them, like, hey, I don't find any fault in Jesus. I'm innocent. Wash his hands. Which is interesting, though, because he still actually does, like, send him to the soldiers to be crucified.
He's not as innocent as he wants to be.
Yeah.
Now, I've learned this about blaming others for stuff.
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of truth to it.
Right.
That you and your siblings were doing something bad.
Right.
Your parents, your mom catches you. There is a little bit of truth to say.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. It was him. It was her. Yeah.
There's a little bit of truth there, but it's not the whole truth.
Right. Yeah.
So Pilate's like, listen, I don't want anything to do with this. Now, I kind of believe him.
Right.
I think there's a little bit of truth there.
Yeah.
Because his wife had even warned him about staying away from this man named Jesus.
Yeah.
So, but he's not fully cleared.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No.
Because he does sentence him.
Yeah.
And he hands him over to the Roman officers.
Yep.
And they mistreated him terribly.
Yeah.
So there's something there. We got to look at this. And after he says, I wash my hands of this.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting response from the people.
It's the first time that the people
tell the truth.
Take responsibility for anything.
This is the first time actual truth is told.
Right. They say, his blood is on us and our children.
Wow. That's intense. Your children too?
Could you imagine being one of these people standing in that crowd? And maybe later, I'll just think about this, the redemption of Jesus. But I mean, what if, we don't know this for sure, but what if one of those people standing in that crowd was one of the same people that Peter preached to in Acts chapter 2?
Yes.
Because, I mean, it was kind of right around that same time. What if they had been in Jerusalem and then all of a sudden they hear Peter preaching, and Peter says directly in his message, like, you killed him.
Yeah.
You put him to death with the help of evil men. And so, I mean, could you imagine being there and realizing that you claimed his blood is on us and our children?
They took responsibility. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And they were right, too. Hey. My goodness. What an interesting chapter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just real powerful, life-changing situations. Mm-hmm. This is a good chapter for all of us because if you're going to do anything of significance with your life, you have got to be willing to take full responsibility
Yeah.
for your life.
Oh, yeah. You know, I wanted to get to this part because this was something that you didn't bring up when we were talking through this real quickly, pre-podcast. We were talking about responsibility, and I immediately thought of what I think is one of the most interesting statements that revolves around the crucifixion of Jesus. It's in Matthew 27, towards the end of the chapter in verse 54. And it's actually, this is crazy, it's actually from the Roman centurion who was in charge of putting Jesus to death. Like, he was the man, it was his job to make sure Jesus was dead and that it was bad. Like, this was his job. He was a professional killer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It says in 54, when the centurion who was with him and was guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, and right before, it kind of goes through all these things that happened when Jesus died.
Yeah, some wild things took place.
Yeah. He said he was terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God," which was the first time that someone other than Jesus referred to him as the Son of God. Lots of people would refer to him as the Son of Man.
Elijah the prophet.
And he was a Gentile Roman centurion who finally, for the first time, I think, starts taking a little bit of the responsibility and says, surely this was the Son of God. Mm-hmm. Which I just think is interesting. And we don't know anything about what happened to this guy. But the fact that he recognized that in the moment, has always been so interesting to me. And it's the first time that we see someone from the Roman side of this story taking any responsibility for Jesus.
And I would also say maybe the first time we see a Roman possibly come to some sort of saving knowledge of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't get any more really insight into it.
Yeah.
But with making a statement like that and the fact that it's included, I think it's included in a couple of the accounts. I feel like there's some significance to that. That maybe even, we don't know, but could you just imagine this would be so cool? Like the early church in Jerusalem, they're just, they're doing early church stuff, and all of a sudden this Roman centurion walks in. And maybe even a couple of them, maybe Mary recognizes him.
Yeah.
Because she was there. John recognized him, like he was the guy who was at the crucifixion.
Being pretty intense, man.
That would be crazy.
It's wild stuff. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. How do you describe this one?
This one was fresh. There's a lot of mix up, a lot of fun stuff happening. I don't know what it was like.
It's fresh, though.
It's definitely fresh. I liked it.
Like a chicken and rice burrito.
No. Something with like more veggies in it, Something has a little...
Oh.
A little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
So like a chicken and rice burrito with a lot of veggies.
Yeah, maybe like a quesadilla, like not just like a chicken and cheese one though. It's got like onions and peppers and all this like salsa and some stuff on there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, making me hungry. It's been great to be with you, audience.
Oh, it's been a good one.
Catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast.